Hi there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're taking a look at a 1992 Toyota Soarer automatic transmission with the 1JZ GTE engine. And so that's the inline 6-cylinder twin turbo kind of little brother engine to the Supra's engine. And part of the reason why this is a great car to buy in Japan is because this engine was not available in the US on the SC300, which was a Lexus. And so you get the very good twin turbo engine, puts out 280 horsepower, which is more than any of the engines in the US. But aside from that, it is just it's arguably a better engine than the one UZ 4-liter V8. Better on fuel, better power, and better for tuning potential if that's what you're into. It is a turbocharged engine, and so getting extra power out of it is a lot easier than a naturally aspirated one. Plus it has the brand recognition of being a 1J. Very cool. Electronically modulated suspension. Coolant looks good. Yes, I spilled it there when I opened it up. It was cold, but there was enough pressure to just kick some out. Engine oil, it looks a little bit low, and so when the vehicle lands, like not low enough that it's going to cause any problems, but when the vehicle lands, make sure you top that up. Okay, so not much to say about the engine bay otherwise, other than how nice this engine is. A big step up from the 1G twin turbo engine that was in the older Soarers. And it is a bit of a shame that the Soarer that came before this never got the 1JZ, because the Mark II, which was the same generation, or the JZX 80s, did get that. Okay, so let's go over the auction sheet. This is the inspection information from the auction from which we bought the car. So it's a 1992 Soarer 2.5 GT twin turbo. Note that these also come in a non-turbo version with the 2JZ non-turbo engine, 230 horsepower, and you can get them with the V8 here in Japan too. It's a dark blue, 84,458 kilometers, auction grade 4, interior B, and so generally good condition car, especially since this is now 25 years old, almost 26. So it's purchased from user as a dealer trade-in, cruise control, front power seat. Did check it and it does work. Toll collection box, keyless entry, turbo timer, and registration in the car until 2018 June. There you can see the registration sticker. Okay, so the auction inspection is this section here and the diagram here, so pay extra attention here. Steering wheel wear and scratch, seat wear, interior liner scratched and dirty, rear spoiler paint peeling, alloy wheels and door mirrors scratched, various scratches and dents. And then looking at the diagram, we have some light damage here. Now, if you don't understand what these marks mean, the A1 and U1 and whatnot, it is all on our website, so you can check that out. But in general, anything with a 1 next to it is very mild, and so none of those are a big problem. There is a medium scratch on this door and a large scratch on the back corner here, with some medium scratches on the front bumper and paint peeling on the back bumper. Okay, so let's do a once around first, and then I'm going to go take a look at those damages. And then we're going to go to the interior. And this is one of the cars that I've always wanted to own, and I thought that this would be my car when I landed here in Japan in 2006. And unfortunately I didn't buy one, but then again, this is a very large vehicle for Japan's tight and twisty roads, and so it doesn't really suit the country that well. That being said, the Soarer has great brand recognition here. It's kind of known as the luxury Supra, and it is very similar to a Supra in terms of body dimensions. Sort of like the gentleman's Supra, I suppose. It did come with a 5-speed manual. You do pay a lot more for a 5-speed manual. And I'm not going to go over prices or the exact price of this car. You can email us if you do want some price quotes or you want to take a look at past auction prices. But in general, the automatics, the ones that can be sent to the USA, still sell for quite a bit because everybody loves this engine. And you get, I guess, around 300,000 at the low end and about 700,000 or 800,000 at the high end for the autos, and manuals plus 50% on top of that. So that's the A2 right there. And then the A3, look around the front edge of this, you can see it has been scuffed. Okay, there are plenty of scratches around the door handles because fingernails beat paint. Back bumper paint peeling. Not back, oh, the back bumper paint peeling is down here. You can see spoiler paint peeling too, is what I meant to say. And kids playing in the park. Okay, original wheels on it. Wheels are in good condition because they have lots of sidewall in them, and an 18 or 19 look great in this car. A 20 is, I think, too big. Small dent right here, and a more medium dent right there, and lots of scratches around the driver's side as well. Okay, so first off, let's go take a look at the trunk. We'll also take a look at these doors. Take a look. It's fun to open them. They don't open that wide, but they are giant doors, and so you wouldn't have space to open them widely. But they have this super complex hinge system. Crazy. Okay, how do we open the trunk here? Down here. Okay, so the trunk doesn't hold itself open like it should. And so there are dampers inside there that you would need to replace, but a generally big size trunk, much bigger than a Mark IV Supra, which came out a few years after this car. 93 was the first year for the Mark IV, and then this one, the first year I believe was 1989 or 90, somewhere around there. Okay, so door cards are in good condition with some dirtiness at the bottom, and then one crack in the real wood paneling there. And the wood paneling is throughout the interior. It looks good, and it's in good condition. Steering wheel has a few scratches on it, but it's generally pretty good for the age. And then take a look at this. This green tape is original when you bought the car, and it was left on there because Grandpa owned the car and he thought it was cool to protect the side sills, because these areas do get scratched up a lot when you bring your feet in and out of the car. But then it's also left this residue on top where it has peeled off, so the glue was on there and the glue kind of attached itself. You can probably get rid of that somehow, but I would have to be very careful with what products that you use. Here's the power seats, 8-way plus lumbar support, and then manual for reclining. Very cool, kind of retro nowadays gauges, but this is also a throwback to the generation before this and the generation before that. The Soarer was kind of known for its digital gauge cluster. And so let me just stomp on the gas there so you can see how the tachometer works. It's kind of fun. One of the things I don't like is that the fuel gauge there, compared to an analog needle, you don't know exactly when you're going to run out of gas. So if you're like me and let it run down really low, then you might have problems because it's down to the pixel, not down to the fraction of a millimeter. Okay. AC works. Digital display is fine. Aftermarket CD player in there. Very easy to change your temperature here. It bothers me when you have to keep pressing the button to change the temperature. This one here, you just set it and then it changes to that temperature. So very easy to do that. It has been smoked in. You can see remnants of ash in there, but doesn't smell like cigarettes inside the car. Shifting is good, but a tiny bit clunky going from reverse to drive. As I said in the other video that I shot for this car, it's probably just like a transmission mount bush. Okay, this is correct there. Turbo timer. Oh, and here's the cigarette lighter that has never been used. I thought that was missing. I don't know what this is for. That's a little bit weird. Nothing really can fit in there because my wall is so thick. It doesn't fit in. But not really. That's just a joke because it's not true. That's Toyota thinking. Open the seat up. Now, most of the time you would get in from the other side. Rear seats or rear leg room is extra because it's dented in there, but it doesn't give you a lot of leg room. But the seats are in good condition and they would be manageable if you need to. And you get Dragon Lion, which is the Soarer mark. I think it's a griffin or something. I don't know. I don't do mythological creatures very well. Okay, so overall, pretty good condition for this Soarer. It's 25 years old, so it's not going to be in perfect condition, but I would say better than your average 25-year-old car. And just a great looking car with a great engine, rear wheel drive, super powerful, really good all around vehicle. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, and see you next time, I suppose.